Well, after being pressured by Donald Trump, the Department of Justice has indicted former FBI Director James Comey, claiming that he lied. This is the New York Times front page right here. Former FBI Director Comey indicted after pressure from Trump. Ken Delanian, who is the national security correspondent for NBC News, is tweeting he's hearing from DOJ folks saying this is one of the worst indictments ever. It is clearly all about Trump's pressure. He pressured Attorney General Pam Bondi to do this. Not only that, who's next? Now, they also report that Donald Trump, he's now wanting an investigation of the Department of Justice into the George Soros Foundation. So that's what you're going on. Now, I've heard that they have been targeting individuals that have received funding from the Soros Foundation because they want to declare them a criminal organization. What you have here, you got Republicans, Greg, who've been saying that, oh, this is, the Biden Harris, they targeted Trump and his people unnecessarily. They were prosecuting prosecuting their enemies. No, they actually were prosecuting people who broke the law. Again, Ken Delaney has been reporting on this, saying that first of all, the U.S. attorney in Virginia, they were not moving forward. Trump fires the U.S. attorney, puts in an airhead former a pageant winner to be the U.S. attorney who's never prosecuted a case in her life to say, no, get this done. So this is Donald Trump absolutely saying, prosecute my opposition.
That's absolutely right. Roland, none of us are happy about pain. None of us are happy about anyone suffering. But the enthusiasm that I've had since the reelection of Donald Trump to this day is really undiminished. In fact, I'm more enthusiastic now than ever. This is serious business. In a country of 330 plus million people, the question that should be at the front of our minds today is really how strong are the institutions that hold this country together? I have a lot of confidence in state and local institutional structure. I'm talking now strictly about government. At the federal level, what we are seeing is an unbridled and wholesale attack on the question of the institutional structure of the federal government. Pam Bondi is incompetent. Kash Patel is incompetent. And we can go down the list, all of them incompetent. Their addled signing pen, thanks NBC for creating this problem by propping him up as if he were a businessman instead of playing a businessman and letting him do that on TV for over a decade. He is mentally unwell, he's unstable, and of course, he is bedeviled by the idea that his enemies are after him. We are at a moment now, however, when I think we are getting close to finding out collectively just how strong the institutions are. And I think this Comey indictment is the next step in that area, in that direction for this reason. They were able to secure an indictment. They're not going to convict James Comey of anything. They're certainly not going to convict Tish James of something if they can manage to hoodwink a grand jury into indicting her. They won't be able to get George Soros either if they do that. What they are, however, doing is obscuring the inevitable march of the thing that Donald Trump, I'm not talking about any of the rest of them, Russell Vogt, I'm not talking about any of the other people, Steve Bannon, Steve Miller. What they are not going to be able to do is prevent him from the thing that he is concerned about. We saw, of course, as you reported, out of Arizona the day before yesterday, Adelita Grijalva getting that seat. Well, they now have enough people to trigger that Massey Ro Kahana asked to get those Epstein files released. The only way they would be able to block it is if there's a shutdown. Oh, and she can't get sworn in. The single thing he is obsessed with are these damn Epstein files. And I'm saying that we are at a moment when what can be revealed now is indeed the strength or the weakness of these institutions. And I'm saying that, Roland, listening to you talking with Jim Clyburn there, who, with all due respect, is right about a lot of things, but probably maybe should pass this on to the next generation to carry this fight on. I'm not saying that he's finished at all, but I'm saying that what's coming ahead now is going to require a resolve that the people in this country have. Jimmy Kimmel will be on tonight because the people said we don't care. The white nationalists are being exposed. Sinclair, they're saying, well, we won't run. Fine. Go to hell. More people watch YouTube anyway. Your audience is bigger than the people who are on cable and everybody running over here now anyway. My point is that as people get pissed off, the politicians are going to have to follow the masses of people who are moving toward the we don't care part. Because when they captured this car, the white nationalists have thrown acid on the apparatus of the federal government. And what is being revealed now is what will be left after the acid burns everything else away. I'm saying that's probably a positive development.
But what we're looking at here, Noah, is very simple. That is Donald Trump. I said at the outset of this year, they want to defund Black America. What they want to do is they want to completely cripple the progressive infrastructure. That is nonprofits, the money. They're trying to declare Soros a terrorist organization. People need to understand what they are doing. The efforts to defund Black America, they're targeting academia, they're targeting HBCUs, they're targeting jobs, they're targeting Black businesses, nonprofits, they're targeting everything. This is their plan and they're executing it.
Absolutely. And in my day job, and the real work that I do, there are so many meetings that are being convened. I can't tell you how many trainings I've been in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of protecting my own digital footprint and what to do once, if attacked. And one of the reasons is because um, one of the orgs that OSF is affiliated with, Laura Loomer attacked this particular organization, which is one of the foundational organizations within the large scheme of national security and foreign policy. So attack the organizations, attack the nonprofits, attacked our funding sources. We're already having a challenging time because progressive anything, is not being funded right now. And for the organization I'm affiliated with, Women of Color Advancing Peace and Security, we have women of color in our name. So, what's the best way to continue this attack on, Black people? Definitely. Black women, definitely. On progressive agendas, attack the funding source. And while OSF, they're still writing checks and they're still depositing checks where other organizations are still trying to figure it out, this would be a huge blow in the progressive agenda. And that is intentional. But going back to our earlier conversation and tying in the conversation you were having with Representative Clyburn, a lot of people are having a hard time dealing with where many of us on this show, we already are at. We understand what it's going to take for someone to stand up to this administration. And a lot of people are really just trying to do the math and the calculus if that's what they want to be doing right now. People were promised an American dream that does not exist, and people are rightfully pissed off about it, but they're also trying to negotiate, okay, what am I willing to give up? What am I willing to do? Because right now, I am telling you from a political scientist perspective, and I was sharing this with one of my mentors yesterday. Right now, the next step to this is violence. And I think people are rightfully so trying to figure out where they want to be in that spectrum. The person who steps up and lead, they're going to have to sacrifice a lot. They are going to be targeted. They are going to be attacked. So people have some very serious decisions to make. And I get it because Trump is out there right now talking about how strong the right is, stronger than the left. In many ways, he's absolutely right. These militia type folks have been wanting to go out there and do crazy stuff to people for a long time, where you just have people who just want to live their lives,
Right.
just be with their families and travel and do all the things. There's nothing wrong with that. So I just want to, my last comment, I
Got
got the right from you, so let me shut up. Where we are right now, people have to figure out what are they willing to do.
So, board again, what you see here by Trump forcing the DOJ to indict Comey. Look, they're not going to do anything. I mean, they know this is an awful, awful indictment. But it is to have a chilling effect. What Brendan Carter with the FCC, what they want to do is they want to freak everybody out, scare them to death, and cause people to fear saying or doing anything. And that to me is not the answer.
Definitely. I think that we understand that this is just a tactic, one more tactic that is Trump going after his enemies and making sure that you are scared to come for him. You are scared to say anything against this agenda. We saw it last week and the last couple of weeks with Charlie Kirk, and how every time you say something, You are attacked for telling the truth. You are attacked with no evidence of doing something wrong, and people are being punished for these things. And this situation is no different. This is just showing how we as a people have to be aware of what they're doing and really move very strategic in our response to all of these attacks. And yes, they may not be able to convict him, but just the sheer allowance of bringing an indictment that way says that, hey, it's okay to go after election vote workers or after the person that disagree and that are advocates. So they're trying to scare people out of fighting them with the tactics that are known to work. And that's just, it's really disheartening to see that this is how we're having to fight with our hands tied behind our backs, really.
Yep, that is the goal.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.